Namaskara, welcome to News9 show, The South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanand. As usual, I bring to you 9 top stories from the south of India. Let me now begin with the first one. Blue corner notice issued against JDS MP Prajwal Revanna, co-accused HT Revanna, sent to police custody until 8th of May on charges of kidnapping. So that's our main story. Prajwal on the run, HT Revanna arrested. Facts and only facts, no speculations here on the South Indian. Our top story is to get you, like I said, all the updates on the Prajwal Revanna sex scandal, which has not only rocked Karnataka but the entire nation in the middle of the general election. JDS MLA HT Revanna, the father of Prajwal, was taken into SIT custody for 3 days over allegations of sex scandal surrounding him and his son. A fresh FIR was registered against Revanna for having kidnapped the woman who had allegedly been raped by his son Prajwal. The FIR was lodged by the victim's son on Thursday. Let's listen into what HT Revanna's perspective as he has labelled the situation a complete and total political conspiracy.
ನನ್ನ 40 ವರ್ಷ ರಾಜಕೀಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಪಾದನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ದುರುದ್ದೇಶದ ಮೇಲೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವುದೇ ಪುರಾವೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ 28ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ 2ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು.
The woman whose son filed the kidnapping case against HT Revanna and his aide Satish Babanna was traced by the Karnataka police. It is now expected that she shall speak to the special investigation team anytime soon and give her perspective, or rather her statement in the case. This woman that we are talking about, she had worked at the Revanna residence as domestic help for nearly 5 years, but then she had quit 3 years ago. Her son, who spoke on her behalf, alleged that the woman was apparently picked up on 26th of April by HD's closest aide Satish and then brought home the same day and then taken away by Satish on 29th of April. According to the son, she has been missing since then. The woman was finally rescued from the farmhouse of one Rajashekar, HD's personal assistant in Mengaluru, Kalenahalli village. The SIT officer who had followed a tip-off reached the farmhouse where they arrested Satish and rescued the victim as well. Meanwhile, the special court for elected representatives has already denied him an anticipatory bail on the matter. Moreover, right before custody, the JDS MLA's request for interim protection was also quashed by local court. HT Revanna, of course, continues to be adamant while denying all the charges, saying that all these allegations are just a political conspiracy and there is absolutely no truth to the matter. Let's listen in to some other voices in the matter.
ನಾನು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂತ ಕಾನೂನು ರೀತಿಯ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಅವರು ಆಂಟಿಸಿಪೇಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಿಡ್ನಾಪ್ ಕೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಂಟಿಸಿಪೇಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವಜಾ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಆಂಟಿಸಿಪೇಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಸ್ಟಡಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
The law will take its course and see. We are in the election campaign. I don't know what SIT is doing. I have not heard of it. Only I am just looking at the newspaper. Apart from that, I don't know. But law will take its own course.
Let me also tell you that I'm going to focus on 2 aspects of the story. First is just the updates, what all has happened, what is expected to happen, because we have a crack of a reporter, Mohammad Wajiullah, who's been following this case, and he will tell us things which are hitherto unknown. And the second aspect is actually the real story about the women who feel marginalized, ostracized, and today facing a lot of stigma. But wait for that a little bit, even as I go to my colleague, Mohammad Wajiullah. Waji, tell us about all the updates, because a lot of curiosity is swirling around Prajwal Revanna's return. Apparently, the SIT has been sitting at Bengaluru airport. Some people say no, it is Mengaluru airport, because you were the first one who got the ticket and it was written May 16. But apparently, Revanna Senior has now advised Revanna Junior to come back as quickly as possible. Waji, over to you for all the updates on the story.
Well, yes, so that there is pressure on Prajwal Revanna now to come back to India as fast as possible, keeping in mind how the situation has been in the last 2 days with the arrest of HD Revanna. Now, like you said, yes, there are speculation that SI officials are sitting in both the airports, be it Mangalore or the Bangalore airport. But you should also know that there is a lookout notice issued against HD Revanna. So there are police everywhere in every airport and its seaports, because wherever he lands, he'll immediately be arrested as per that lookout. Now that is with regards to HD Revanna's lookout, and but as of now there is no whereabout of HD Revanna's Prajwal Revanna's return. I'm sorry, because he was expected to return on the 4th, but he had written a letter saying that he may take some more time. But looking at the chain of events, we still have no clarity on his return. But yes, from the family, from the relatives, and from the party, there is pressure on him to come back. Today, what has happened is that the victim on the first case, the first FIR that was registered against both HD Revanna and Prajwal Revanna, the victim was taken to their Basanturi residence, where where there was video verification and a spot verification for the last 5 hours,
Right.
because the victim had complained that she was taken to the Bangalore residence also. So that is what that happened with regards to the thing. And Mr. H.D. Revanna had also filed for a petition on court for anticipatory bail, about which the hearing had started, but it has now been postponed for tomorrow. So that is the latest in this particular case, Sudha.
You know, Vajiullah, the thing is that it is a shame. I mean, everyone is saying let's not speculate. I also don't want to. You and I, both of us, we will not speculate unless we have some proof. But the news of the sex scandal has actually shaken the conscience of a lot of women. I'm going to speak to two very powerful women in a bit. But right now I want to ask you from the political angle. I have done a lot of discussions. But now, even as the dust, let's say, is settling, because it will once again rise on this case, do you think this has had an impact on the second phase in North Karnataka, which went to polls on 7? Do you think that there was there will be rather a big kind of impact of this when the rest of the districts in Karnataka go to polls? One is Neha Hiremat case and the other is this case.
Well, if we talk about JDS as a political party, if we talk about JDS as a political party, they do not have that much of a stand on the Uttar Kannada and the North Kannada side, where the elections are happening in the next 14 seat. So if you are thinking on that aspect, because they don't have that much influence, it may not impact. But if you speak on the moral grounds of it, on the grounds of the alliance of it, that may have an impact, because the Congress, on the other hand, has made it very clear to keep this issue alive, to make sure that there is updates on a daily basis, so that the report is the issue is in the conscience of the mind of the people. Whereas if you talk about the Neha Hiremat case, the last update that we ever got from that particular case was when Mr. Amit Shah met the family of Neha Hiremat, when he met Neeraj Hiremat and the family. So that may have resonance in the Uttar Kannada region, but this particular case of Prajwal Revanna is bigger from almost all the cases that we're seeing in the country, in the state right now, be it the Hanuman Chalisa case, or all this has gone into the backdrop of the Prajwal Revanna case. So this may have its impact, but how much of it, it remains to be seen. The Uttar Kannada region might see a Hindutva rise, because that belt is known for that politics. But on the other side of it, yes, this may have an impact. One, because the JDS does not have that much of a presence in that.
Then it's in alliance with the BJP, Vajji. No, Vajji, but it's in alliance with the BJP. So it's not going to be easy for the BJP, which is trying to get its feet back into Karnataka. But Vajiullah, thank you very much, because I think this story is not going anywhere, and we'll come back to you for more updates. I told you, ladies and gents, that the second part of the story is about women. And I'm going to take a break, but when I come back, two powerful women, Dr. Nagalakshmi Chowdhury, chairperson of the Karnataka State Commission for Women, very important element, who speaks about women's security and safety in Karnataka, and Brinda Adige, very well-known women's activist, on the other side of the break. Just don't go away.
Currently, the industry is facing a lot of challenges as far as demand is concerned. Basically, that US markets has slowed down because of high inflation.
So obviously, diamonds being a dream product, something which doesn't have a utility value or is seen as a luxury. So that obviously goes off your shopping list. That's the first item that will go off your shopping list, especially in recessionary trends.
That lab-grown diamonds are not mined, and they do away with the entire mining. So they save up on all the environmental damage that is associated with mining, and of course, the mining cost, which is why they're even more affordable.
People that is impacted by all these recessions are the artisans, are the people who work in this industry, right? But I think lab-grown diamond has allowed them to actually use their skills in the same product.
This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
Only on this channel will you get facts and only facts and no speculations. We are talking about Prajwal on the run and HTJ Revanna, who's been arrested. Now I'm going to focus on the second part of the story, which is actually the real story about how the women are feeling in Hassan. Several women who were purportedly among the victims have left their homes over the last 10 days. Reports are suggesting that many voices have been silenced for now, as in no one wants to speak out for fear of a backlash from Hassan's strongest family. The woman's family who registered the first FIR has also vacated their home. Many from the village panchayat are questioned by the men in the family as to what made them do this terrible act. It is unimaginable that first one faces as a woman sexual violence and then one is stigmatized and ostracized. Let me now go across to two very, very important guests, both of them women, to speak on this terrible trend in Hassan. Dr. Nagalakshmi Chaudhary, Chairperson of the Karnataka State Commission for Women, and Brinda Adige, women's activist. Dr. Chaudhary, thank you. You were the first one who highlighted this case and it was, brought to the forefront. I only want you to focus on the fear. What is this? Even initially those women said, I would rather we would, die by suicide than come in front of the SIT. Then many of them have left homes. The men in the family are not talking to them. Any state under a democracy, if there is a fear factor involved, particularly amongst the women, then what is the point? What are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah, Sudha, I'm here to tell the first victim, yes, she is under police protection. Of course, she is fearful to go back to Hassan, and she is also conveyed that where she was rented in a house, they've asked her not to come back because they're all scared. But then the government has assured them, to send them to a particular residence, because they say that the house which they have got through Ashraya Yojana is been taken away from that particular family. Now, I'm sure the government is going to help them to get the house from that scheme again. And yes, it is true, few of the women have left, happened to leave the place because of the social stigma attached to it. And some of them are intimidating them and trying to bribe them. Of course, these are all happening, yes, but still few of them have come ahead and they have registered the FIR and they are with the SIT team, and probably, yes, SIT has announced helpline, and then the victims, and they've announced clearly that victims don't require to come to them, and 2 women officers are involved in this SIT team, so they've made sure that they feel comfortable, and the counselors have been appointed. And
but Nagalakshmi, if I have left my village, agar मैं चली गई हूँ उस गांव से, how are you going to trace me, Nagalakshmi?
Yeah, see, basically, the social stigma, attached to them.
That's what, yes.
But one thing is the victims should, be supported by their own family, nobody else. And we cannot approach them because they feel very much emotionally hurt.
I think the state is involved here in telling people that, Brinda, the families, now I'm not even, because I'm privileged, I sit in an air-conditioned studio and speak. I don't want to sit on judgment on women from the rural areas. Who am I? I do not know their fears. But the point is that if they are scared, because it's a stigma, their men are now saying, you did this? I thought you were going to work, little knowing that they were exploited. The onus of seeing that the women do not have any fear is on the state, no, Brinda? It's not on their individual families. What do you think?
You're absolutely right, Sudha. The onus to give that confidence to the women is on the state.
Yeah.
But we must understand, A, we are a largely patriarchal society. All the time, the women are the ones who would be maligned, and the women are the ones on whom aspersions are cast. Now, that said, in this particular case, what we must understand is a place like Hassan, which is, ex-PM is saying, Mr. Devegowda says that for over 70 years, the family has had a very respectable life over there. We need to now read in between the lines that for 70 years, 70 long years, this particular family and their clan have had a vice-like.
Yeah, but Brinda, I'm interjecting you because there is a restraining order. Not that, but we have to follow. But let's speak.
I understand, but we are not talking about what the family did this case or
but
did not
respectable, because Devegowda ji is still apparently very respectable.
With that respect comes fear. The fear because the state agencies did not do their work. The state agencies did not extend that confidence. Probably some cases might have come up in the past. We don't know.
Right.
Somebody might have decided to go and speak to a particular police officer or probably call the helpline. Now, was that kind of confidence and support extended or not is the question. Now, because it was not extended, like you pointed out, the families and the men in the families are the ones not allowing the women to come out because there is shame, several layers of humiliation, there is fear. Some of them have been thrown out of their jobs, and like Dr. Nagalakshmi pointed out, some of the owners are not allowing them to stay in that rented house. Many of them have gone into hiding and switched their phones off. And about 2-3 days ago, we also heard a couple of women attempted suicide. So with all of these, so it is not just one area called fear, one area called humiliation, one area called nobody listened to me, I have no confidence. This is layer upon layer of so much of threat and intimidation to these women. Nobody ever thought that any of these videos would ever come out.
Right.
Nobody ever thought that they would be put in this kind of a dilemma where they are not only answerable to their families, their husbands. So domestic violence has increased, I am told, by some of the women who have been talking to counselors and social workers. The children are feeling humiliated to go out into the society. So all of this is something which the state and the society must instill them with confidence and that respect and dignity.
Yeah, of course, we have Dr. Nagalakshmi Chaudhary, who was the first one, like I keep saying, who escalated the entire issue, told the government that this has happened and what kind of action needs to be taken. I'm going to go to her now. I have to take a break, and I'm going to go to Nagalakshmi, and see, what has happened is a helpline has been set up. But frankly, I've done a lot of stories on helplines, doesn't work. I can't be on the phone and say, listen, I'm being, I'm so scared to even speak to myself. You think I will pick up the phone and say that my husband's family is harassing me? It's not possible. They've also, of course, said that they'll be given compensation. But does that suffice? Who knows how many women have gone missing because they are scared? Next, after the break, Nagalakshmi Chaudhary talks to us about what steps can be taken so that the women are not really scared in this entire case. See you on the other side.
You were the chosen one to direct Mr. Bachchan for his first endorsement, for his first appearance on the small screen.
It was a life-changing moment.
Have you been a rebel with a cause?
There was a sense of responsibility, there was a sense of frustration.
Are you worried about cancel culture?
You tell a story with a fierce psychosis, you're gonna spoil it anyway.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
The football is mother of all games.
It is a team sport.
The leadership attitude is taking the ownership.
It's always a big responsibility to take decisions and the right decisions.
I always question the stereotypical.
And that's why you are in that position.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, that's our top story. Prajwal on the run, HD Revanna arrested. Let me now go to Dr. Nagalakshmi Chaudhary, chairperson of the Karnataka State Commission for Women. Dr. Chaudhary, what can one do? What is it that you're planning to do? Are you having regular meetings with the government? How's the SIT cooperating with you? And I'm only going to talk to you about the safety of the women. The more the women come, after all, it's a criminal offense.
Yeah, today also I had meeting with Chief Minister and also the SIT team. And then, yeah, see, the first step, as you said, that should start from the family itself. You see the first victim, the entire family is with the victim. That's how she has come forward. And there, if it begins, then definitely everything will be done from the government and from the SIT team. They are with them. That is the first thing. And the women, the victims who are involved in this, it's not easy for them to come out, but yes, they have to come out of that. And for that, family, as I said, family should be the first one supporting them. And rest, I assure you, the government and the SIT will take care everything. However, even, I told you in the first victim, the residence itself was a problem for them to house to stay, and government has assured that will be also taken.
That's a positive step. That is indeed a positive step, Nagalakshmi. And I think, Brinda, do you think that if more, I do not know, I keep thinking, if the man of the house, and we are all South Indians, I know exactly how adamant the men can be, not that men are not adamant elsewhere. But in such a case, they will be very adamant and they will say, no, we don't want it, please go away, go away. The point is that, do you think it will help if women ministers come? Because you see, we have the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, both are men. I was just thinking, sitting there and thinking, what if women ministers, go out and talk to these survivors rather than victims and say, don't be scared, the SIT is there, come forward and talk to them. You worked with a lot of women. Tell us, what's the way out, Brinda?
I don't think the politicians of any party or the ministers must go out and speak, because this whole case has been politicized. That element of faith and trust in anything called political is pretty low just now. I would suggest that the helpline, I think in a way it is good because there are some people who have called. But once that is done, I think it is important for civil society organizations to reach out to not just the victims. Victims, of course, require a lot of mental health support. They require compensation. They probably might require some kind of medical health support also. But we should be able to speak to the men in the families. It is the men at the end of the day who are going to walk alongside, stand beside the victim from their family. Because the case is not going to get done in the next 2-3 months. It's going to take a couple of years by the time it comes to court. And all of that time, this victim cannot be remain staying in isolation or hiding. She needs to go back to her family, and that love, care, support from the family is ultimate. She needs it. That's why we want to talk to the men and the families to say it is never her fault. She was pushed into a corner. She really had no choice. Would any woman, if given a choice, would have said, yes, do all this to me, record me, and now you can also viral the videos? Never. Nobody. And that is exactly what the families need to understand. The women are very good people in your family. Your mother, your sister, your wife, your aunt, all of them had no choice. They were subjugated.
Right.
They were oppressed. You cannot talk. Yeah. Why did you not shout? Why did you not scream? Why did you not come and tell me? Nothing would have happened. Probably somebody said, I went and spoke, nothing happened. So I understand someone went, why should I also get myself sullied?
Yeah, I know.
Let me keep quiet.
Yeah, I'm very happy that we all agree, and Nagalakshmi and you both are speaking in one voice, and that's what the beauty is of trying to solve women's problems. Nagalakshmi, who's doing it at her level, and you. Brinda, who's doing it at your level. I just want to add one little bit, 2 cents from my side, is that the police has to play a very, very great role in this, in trying to see that the women are not scared any further. I mean, even now, all of us who live in cities, you say police station and I, sit down. I say, oh God, what happened? That fear, psychosis is there. So I think the police also has to play a very important role. And I hope, like you say, Brinda and Nagalakshmi, I hope the women come out of this and go back to working as they did. Thanks so much, Brinda Dige. Thank you very much, Dr. Nagalakshmi Chaudhary, for speaking to us on this story on the Prajwal Revanna case. I'm going to take a break, but you know what's coming up? It's the Congress guarantees against the popularity of Prime Minister Modi. Where? In Telangana, which is all set to go to polls on 13th of May. Coming up at the other side.
Luxury is now becoming a need rather than something that you aspire to be. So that is adding a lot of fuel. Obviously, government has played a vital role in it.
In a city like Mumbai, a luxury home may be something upwards of rupees 10 crores. In city like Delhi, again maybe something upwards of 8-9 crores. But in Bangalore, we typically define a luxury home, anything which is upwards of about 3 crores.
It's a combination of increased wealth, availability of more luxurious homes, and simultaneously the overall economy doing better.
This and more. Streaming on News9 plus news is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए, और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है Money9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
A defiant performance by Tan Hag's men. Now standing at 7 feet 4 inches, Satnam Singh is making his way into professional wrestling.
We are getting more good news for India.
There's a new video around what deep fake can do.
We have seen a trailer of this a few days back.
Rumors should not be only on the platform.
We'll have to wait and see how those play out.
Hindenburg's report cannot be taken as gospel of truth.
We are
trying a lot of experiments, innovations and ideas.
We came out with a new format in audio, which is audio series.
Listening for content-oriented company in India, which is a very unique proposition.
When we look at audio in general, we had music, which is like extremely old format, and then we had podcast.
A natural extension for Pocket FM is to move from Hindi to regional content. I think I'd love to see their FY24 numbers, which they claim will be close to 1,000 crores. I think there are talks of them to raise another $80 to $100 million of funding.
This and more. Streaming on News9 plus news is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
And our second top story in the South Indian is the Telangana fight Congress guarantees versus the Modi factor. Telangana goes to polls on 13th of May and the ground is pulsating. In the run-up to the elections, in the recent assembly elections in the state, the Congress emerged victorious, and one of the reasons, apart from the fact that KCR's BRS was facing anti-incumbency, was the 6 guarantees promised by the Revanna Reddy-led party. The guarantees had worked wonders, everyone said, and there was a case in point in neighbouring Karnataka, and it seemed to have been replicated in Telangana as well. The state has 17 Lok Sabha segments, and many will say that, but it's too less. Every vote counts, particularly if the BJP has to make any kind of inroads into the south, even one seat counts. The battle in Telangana is between BJP, Congress and the BRS, which is doing all it can to stay afloat. That's how politics works. It is very clear here. 6 guarantees versus Narendra Modi's charisma. Yes, the 6 guarantees are working for Telangana, people are happy, but every welfare also loses sheen as it gets dated, and now people remind Revanna Reddy about the waiver of farm loans up to 2 lakh each, while increasing the Raitu Bandhu benefit of 15,000 a year from the present 10,000, besides bringing tenant farmers under the purview of the scheme. They're all asking, what happened to that, Revanna Garu? The Prime Minister in an interview with TV9 discussed the issue of corruption and said that it is rampant in the state, and referred to both Karnataka and Telangana as the ATMs of the Congress. Let's listen into his remarks and then we get back to the story.
मैं तो मानता हूं जी 2 महीने के बाद वो सरकारी कर्मचारियों को सैलरी दे पाएंगे कि नहीं दे पाएंगे सवाल है। मैं सरकार में हूं इसलिए मुझे मालूम है कि उनकी अर्थव्यवस्था इतनी खोखली हो चुकी है, इतनी तबाही की ओर जा रहे हैं कि कुछ बचेगा नहीं जी। और कांग्रेस के लिए पहले कर्नाटका, अब तेलंगाना, ये दोनों एटीएम बन गए।
Meanwhile, Modi has made several visits to Telangana, and his promise, of course, to set up the National Turmeric Board, an issue very close to farmers' hearts in many parts of Telangana, has been noticed. But then many people may ask, has the board come up? No. But there have been changes in prices, which is being seen as a positive step by Modi.
तेलंगाना में यहाँ के किसान भी बड़ी मात्रा में हल्दी की पैदावार करते हैं। कोरोना के बाद हल्दी को लेकर जागरूकता भी बढ़ी है और उसकी दुनिया भर में डिमांड भी बढ़ी है। आज ये आवश्यक है कि हल्दी की पूरी वैल्यू चेन में उत्पादन से लेकर निर्यात और रिसर्च तक और अधिक प्रोफेशनल वे में ध्यान देने की जरूरत है, इनिशिएटिव लेने की जरूरत है। इससे जुड़े एक बड़े फैसले की आज मैं तेलंगाना की धरती से घोषणा कर रहा हूं। केंद्र सरकार ने हल्दी किसानों के लिए हित के लिए और उनकी आवश्यकता को देखते हुए और उनके लिए भावी जो संभावनाएं हैं उसे देखते हुए नेशनल टर्मरिक बोर्ड के गठन का निर्णय किया है।
Some time back there was a big controversy because BRS saw how Revanth Reddy, according to them, was getting very cozy with Narendra Modi, and they said, what is this? You're supposed to be political adversaries. Remember the time when Revanth Reddy called Modi an elder brother? Listen in, then I come back.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी, हम हमारे हिसाब से प्रधानमंत्री का मतलब हमारे बड़े भाई के जो मदद रहे तो ही हर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री उनके क्षेत्र में वो कुछ तरक्की कर सकता है, कुछ डेवलपमेंट को आगे ले सकता है। इसीलिए मेरा गुजारिश है, इस वक्त तेलंगाना अगर आगे तरक्की करना है, हम भी गुजरात जैसा हम आगे जाना है तो यहाँ पर आपकी मदद जरूरी है।
All right, I have two guests with me, Nagesh Kumar, senior journalist, and K.S. Prasad, also very well-known political analyst. Both of them here to decode what does it look like in Telangana. Nagesh Garu, good to see you. It's been a very, very long time. Welcome to the show. I want to ask you that, these guarantees, like, the guarantees, welfare schemes also lose their sheen. And now, because a lot of reporters have been going and reporting that, my reporters are telling me, if you go to the interiors of Telangana, they are all asking about what happened to the waiver of farm loans up to 2 lakhs by Revanth Reddy. What happened? You were supposed to increase the Raitu Bandhu benefit, to 15,000 from the present 10,000. And you were also doing a lot of other things. We also saw Revanth Reddy actually swearing by God and stuff and said, by August I will do it. How does it look to you, Nagesh Garu? 6 guarantees are working, but all these other things, you can't just say you do something and then you put a full stop. No, sir.
See, first of all, they have given too many guarantees. That's the problem. Without any money to back it. Okay. That's what that's what the Prime Minister was saying, not me. So now, you see, they have implemented some of the guarantees. For example, free bus ride to women, then 500 rupees gas cylinder, and then 200 units free electricity. But we must also appreciate the fact that you cannot fix a time limit an immediate time limit for this loan waiver to farmers. 2.5 lakhs for each farmer is a big amount. And then the Chief Minister has said that by August 15th, that is the Independence Day, we will see that the loan waiver is done by that date. Of course, I have my own doubts whether they can do it, because the program involves a very huge amount of money. But my contention is that the government must be given a little more time to implement its guarantees, because it is just exactly till this day it is 5 months since the government has taken over. It took over on December 7th. Today is May 6th. And in 5 months, these elections have come. As it is, the BRS government has left the state in a big financial mess. That is what the Comptroller and Auditor General of India has said in its report. Right. Okay. So now in this short period, to expect the Revanth Reddy government to do everything is expecting too much.
So very senior journalist there, Nagesh Kumar says, listen, it's too early. Wait for it. After all, it's not like a low-hanging fruit that you pluck it and you eat it. It will take time. Mr. Prasad, let me now talk to you about the other thing. A lot of experts feel that the Congress party, it began very, very confidently, but it took a very long time to announce party candidates. For instance, in Hyderabad, Khammam, all these areas, it did not have that kind of confidence, that it. So it was like a doubtful starter. I'm going to read it out. In Karimnagar, it has chosen a lightweight in V. Rajendra Rao against Bandi Sanjay. Do you think all these factors are going to go against the Congress, or you think within 5 months, Revanth Reddy has done what he has and rather remarkably well?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Nagesh sir. Namaste, ma'am. The thing is, the Congress is right now in a situation where they need to pull their socks back, because all these days and years together, they lost their cadre and as well as leaders and all. Once the starting up Gharwapasi, obviously they're starting their work. It is really taking its own course of time. In this scenario, Khammam and some other areas, it is very difficult for them to pick the candidates, and later financial abilities is the biggest challenge for these elections as far as these elections are concerned. But if you can recollect in the Eagle Randress by-election, the huge ramps of money has been spent towards election. The same scenario whenever the elections are taking place in Telangana, people have to spend that much of money. That's why the identified candidates needs to have a lot of good pocket. Then itself, it will be an easy factor for the respective parties. Forget about BJP or forget about Congress. It may be BRS, whomever you name it as.
Yeah.
So in the scenario, it is taking its own course of time. That was the reason its candidatures have got delayed.
All right. Nagesh Garu, I want to ask you, does the BJP have a bit of an advantage? I'm just trying to figure out, because none of us sitting here can say this party will win. We've all had, I have had many experiences. So I'm going to talk to you about, the BRS disintegrating. Do you think it's an advantage for BJP? And also sending the summons to Revanth Reddy, do you think that the BJP is trying to cash in on to tell people who the big daddy is?
That's what they are trying to show, that the center. You see, you have to go back to last year, or I think the year before last, when the BRS sent notices to the Congress, to the BJP General Secretary, Mr. B.L. Santosh from Karnataka. So now BJP is trying to show, look here, we are the big dads. That's what they are trying to show, and that is one reason which KCR has said is the reason for putting his daughter Kavita into jail. They said it repeatedly, and now they are trying. They seem to be trying the same trick with Revanth Reddy, and already they have arrested some 5 or 6 people. Some are out on bail, but the main person is still behind bars because he is in judicial custody.
Right.
But it is not such a big thing that some what you call fake videos need not be made such a big issue as a central versus state issue.
Right.
And all that. It can be dealt with at the police level. When the Delhi police came here to make some arrests, the Hyderabad police took them into custody and then dispersed them at various places, which is quite ridiculous. This looks like a repeat of West Bengal. Where the ED and income tax officials were harassed by the local people, and the Bengal police looked on helplessly.
All right. Mr. Prasad, do you think that it's going to work, the difference between assembly elections and general elections? Do you think the people of Telangana will vote for the Ram Mandir, for the charisma of Narendra Modi, for him being somebody who is really perceived to be invincible by a lot of people? Do you think the BJP magic will work, sir? Because these are the general elections, sir.
I tell you straight away, out of 17, one election, it is only for the namesake, that is MIM election. It is any cost, they are going to win the battle. Remaining 16, if you really recollect, BJP, if they want to shout as Rama, we built Balaram Mandiram and all these stories, if they tell, we already have Bhadrachalam, and we have been doing this, what you call Rama Yatra and everything from years together. That consideration only will get for Raja Singh. He has been given a verdict that people's verdict will always in favor of Raja Singh. Forget about that. Remaining, the factor of Ram Mandir and other things are concerned, which will not at all any role in Telangana, first of all. Apart from that, if you really look into the promises, what he made, Narendra Modi has smartly forgotten. You might have seen last night a Ghajini movie, and they're smartly telling about what is called turmeric board.
Yes.
Was he believing that it is a 2019 election? The promise what he has made? It is 2024. Arvind has given 100 rupees bond papers and all. This time, particularly that particular segment, they need to pay penalty. In the recent past, he has contested as an MLA and he lost the battle. That is itself is an answer for BJP. The same scenario, the Congress 6 guarantees, out of which the cash outflow is not there, just like Nagesh has told very clearly. The first increase of Arogyasri and free bus concept. These are all, there is no pocket burden for respect to state Khajana. So obviously he has chosen this thing, and when it comes to the financial these things, he's not able to give that. That's why he's asking all sort of excuses. Till August, I can't do anything as far as this Runamafi is concerned, and all sort of excuses is taken. The same scenario, if you really look into it as far as the national parties are concerned, obviously people may think about it. And end of the day, regional protectors needs to be. And liquor scam and all may play some role to an extent to the state government elections. But when it comes to the national elections, out of 17 seats, The only social issues will play some
Okay,
role.
I want to know quickly, BRS, what do you think? Is it curtains for the BRS?
Obviously, because this is very clear. Revanna Reddy, if he fails to win not less than 10 seats, he will definitely face a jungle drum, just like who is the Shinde will come to Telangana. That is inevitable. If BJP comes to the power in central with the 65 seats, Congress cannot run the show, and already there are so many pockets.
Right.
Jagan comes, the NDA comes in central. The Telangana face will change it like anything.
All right, and on that note, I've completely run out of time. Thank you so much, Nagesh Kumar, and thank you also, Mr. K.S. Prasad, for joining us on this broadcast. And now the South Indian moves to the third story. Is Bengaluru ready for the monsoon rains, even as authorities step up efforts to clean up storm weather drains? This is a focus on Bengaluru. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've done a lot of stories on this, but I'm asking you because it's going to start now. Is Bengaluru rain ready? Even as many talukas in Karnataka is facing a severe drought and there is an acute water shortage in Bengaluru and even Mysuru, the people are hopeful that their woes shall come to an end when it starts raining. But then the recurring story in Bengaluru every monsoon is about terrible waterlogging, pothole deaths and inundated homes and workspaces. What does one do if one lived in Bengaluru? Wait for water to come so that one can drink that water and also perhaps bathe once a week? And then wait for water to recede as there is water everywhere. It's like being caught between the devil and the deep sea. Everyone in Bengaluru, the IT hub, looked towards the BBMP to find some solutions during the rains. The BBMP has civic agencies to complete their work by 20th of May. First on BBMP's list is intensive cleaning of drains every third week of every month till the rain season is over. According to Tushar Girinath, chief of BBMP, he said BBMP started a 15-day intensive cleaning of its storm water drains from April 19 till 3rd of May. Now the cleaning activity has been extended till 10th of May. Other agencies like Bengaluru Water Supply and Sewerage Board, that is BWSSB, and Bengaluru Electricity Supply Company BESCOM also keep doing their work involving road cutting and other necessities. We have asked them to speed up and complete their work by 20th of May so that we can take up intensive cleaning of drains every third week till the rainy season ends. We are working in coordination with all the departments. Intensive cleaning of stormwater drains will be done along with 859-kilometer length of SWD once every 3 months. Recognizing the interconnected nature of Bengaluru's infrastructure, the BBMP has established communication channels with allied government agencies. Like I said even above, the Bengaluru Water Supply and Sewerage Board, which is the BWSSB, BESCOM and Karnataka Power Transmission Corporation Limited. Through this collaboration, the BBMP is now aiming to minimize disruptions caused by ongoing maintenance work undertaken by these agencies during the monsoon. Of course, the deadline is 20th of May. It's been established to see that everything is really battle ready to face the monsoons. All that is fine. Good. But the point is, if any of this will happen for sure. After a severe water shortage, terrible summer with temperatures soaring above abnormal levels, waterlogged Bengaluru with inundated roads and homes is the last that this IT hub called Bengaluru requires. I hope the BBMP gets its act together. I always promise you, every show of mine, every weekday at 5 o'clock when the South Indian unfolds in front of you, that I shall leave you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Here you go. Enjoy. Namaskara.
अगला स्टेशन विश्वविद्यालय है। दरवाजे बाईं तरफ खुलेंगे।
Gone are the days when starting a business meant burning a hole in your pocket or taking a loan for that matter and being that one-man army in your own firm. Today's Gen Zs are breaking all the norms.
Gen Z is all about purpose. They do not just want to work, they want to work for a purpose, they want to work for a mission.
The next set of entrepreneurs would be actually today's students, and they can bring in changes that would be generational.
We as commerce students at Sri Ram College of Commerce have been looking at, we wish to contribute therein as well.
SRCC's Business Conclave is the largest undergraduate management fest in Asia, organized entirely by the students. A hub of energy and ideas